Welcome back to Real Talk Sports with Rico. Today we're discussing the Detroit Lions, and I think the Lions take another leap this year. They finished at 12-5 last season, and I must say that it was a resurgent year for the Detroit Lions. I was absolutely rooting for the Detroit Lions. They've been at the bottom of the league for quite some time, but it was a good feeling to see that the Detroit Lions were able to get as far as they did. And I think they had a chance in the NFC Championship game to beat the San Francisco 49ers. If you were watching that game, they were actually up. And I think that experience really is what hurt the Detroit Lions. I love the fact that Coach Dan Campbell continued to be very aggressive. But I think it definitely played against the Lions. But really, I think that they probably shouldn't have been in that situation. And I think probably one of the reasons why they got to that point of losing 31-34 to the San Francisco 49ers was, well, the cornerback play wasn't that good. And so they went out there, they traded for Carlton Davis the third. So you got a chance to see that they brought him in months later in the 2024 NFL draft. They went out there and got they got Teron Arnold from Alabama. They also got another cornerback from Missouri as well. And so, look, they went ahead and they wanted to make sure that the secondary was intact moving forward so they could have some safeties and corners out there that could go out and play a little bit of man-to-man defense and start to knock some receivers off of their routes. And so I think that this was a terrific move, and this is what it takes when it comes down to going out and addressing your needs. So I love what the Detroit Lions did via trade, and I also like what they did via the draft as well. So they went out there and got them some cornerstones on the defensive end. So I love that. Their offense, they kept all their coordinators in-house. Remember, they were talking about coordinators possibly going off and being head coaches. They went out there. They also took care of business, bringing back, their defensive line. That's pretty much intact as well. And I just think that this Lions team is poised to do even better. And I think it starts really at the line of scrimmage. And it starts with Jahmyr Gibbs and also to David Montgomery. I think that they had terrific years last year, and especially David Montgomery, who had a resurgent year. Remember, he was with the Bears. The Bears let him go. He came back with this Detroit Lions team that was built to play smash mouth football, and he just went out there and had 1,000-yard rushing season, 1,015, and he had 117 receiving yards as well. And then Jahmyr Gibbs had 945 rushing and 316 receiving, so he had over 1,000 combined. But that duo, all right, where you have Montgomery finishing people off inside. You had Jahmyr Gibbs being able to get outside and then working against linebackers and things like that in the middle of the field was an absolute terror for Jarrod Goff, who was absolutely spectacular when it came down to the play action. And this is why this reminds me a lot of what he did with the Rams when he was here. And he went out there and he made it to the Super Bowl. And so I love the build that Dan Campbell has gone out and done with this Detroit Lions team. So they're going to be tough there. And then when you look at the wide receiver core, all right, I think that that's another special dimension to this football team. I expect for Jamison Williams, to have a better year this year. He was a top wide receiver out of Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he's going to have opportunities this year. You still have Amon-Ra St Brown out there as well. So I think that he's going to be a terrific player for the Lions. And so I think that he's going to get a lot of opportunities. And then also, too, they have Donovan Peoples-Jones that came over from Cleveland. So I think he's going to get some opportunities this year. And I think he had a bit of a resurgent year with the Lions. I think that now he's in there for the full season with the Detroit Lions. I think you're going to see something a lot better from him. And then also, too, I think that Ross St. Brown is going to have a better situation this year. I know I said Ray, so Ross St. Brown. So I think he's going to have a better year this year. And another tight end I think is going to be on the look, or he's going to be on the rise, I should say, should be Sam Laporta. All right. Sam Laporta came in. He was very good a season ago, and I think he's going to just take off again. I think he is poised to be probably one of the best tight ends in the NFL at this point in time. He's looking awfully good. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities, especially with the play fakes, the amount of attention that the secondary is going to give to the Lions wide receivers. With the way the play designs and things are, like, I think that Sam Laporta is poised for a good season. So look, this Lions team is, I think, the most physical and complete team in the NFC North. And I'd expect for them to win. I think they can win 13 or 14 games this year. And I would expect for them to maybe push further than they pushed before. I wouldn't put it past this team that they might make it to the Super Bowl this time around. Because look, the way Dan Campbell has really committed to this program, the way he's built it up, these players have gotten better each time that they've failed. And so I've always said that before. You have to learn how to fail before you learn how to succeed. And I think that that is the case for the Lions. I think that they're going to be awfully tough to beat. I know there's a lot of other teams that we're going to talk about in the NFC that are going to have a say in that. But it's a very disciplined football team, and I just don't see them taking a step back. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but hey, anything can happen during the year. Injuries, suspensions, other teams get hot. But right now, I think that the Detroit Lions are going to be the best team in the NFC North. And again, like I was saying on the last show, what we're going to do is after the preseason is over, after all the injuries and everything and the rosters are set, we're going to come back and revisit these picks. And I'm going to give like my final analysis with, just what I think that team's record is going to be and who is going to win each division. So for right now, this preseason camp-wise, I think it is the Detroit Lions, and I think that they're going to win 13 to 14 games this year. So anyway, let me know what you are thinking about when it comes down to the Lions. Once again, this is Rico. This is Real Talk Sports. I want to thank the fans out there for chiming in on a week-to-week basis to help us drive content to the show. And I also want to thank the sponsors out there for putting sponsorship on the show. And so I just want to say peace, and I will see you guys on the next one. We are going to be talking a little bit of the NFC East next show. All right. I'll see you guys. Peace.